In 2005, the United States Mint released the California State Quarter, one of the most beloved and visually striking coins in the 50 State Quarters program. This coin immediately caught the attention of collectors, not only for its artistic design, but also for the history it represents. The State Quarters program itself was one of the most ambitious and successful coinage programs in American history, launched in 1999 to celebrate the union of all 50 states, by featuring each one on a circulating quarter dollar. Every 5 coins in the series were issued in the order that states entered the Union, and California's turn came in 2005, as the 31st state admitted to the United States back in 1850. For coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and Californians alike, this piece carries a story far deeper than just 25 cents of face value. It represents a cultural identity, the spirit of exploration, and the legacy of conservation that California is famous for. When people first see the California State Quarter, what stands out is the incredible detail of its reverse design. Instead of a generic emblem or abstract image, the Mint chose to honor one of the most iconic figures in California's history, John Muir, the legendary naturalist and conservationist, often called the father of the national parks. On the coin, Muir is depicted admiring the grandeur of Yosemite Valley, with the famous Granite Peak Half Dome rising in the background. Beside him soars a California condor, one of the rarest and most endangered birds native to the state. The design was both symbolic and aspirational, showing how California's natural beauty and commitment to preserving its wilderness set it apart in the American landscape. The combination of Muir, Yosemite, and the condor created an image that was uniquely Californian, yet resonated with anyone who valued nature, exploration, and history. The decision to feature John Muir was no accident. California had countless potential symbols to choose from. Some expected the coin to feature the Golden Gate Bridge, a grizzly bear, or even an image of gold miners to honor the gold rush of 1849. But the California Governor's Office and design committees wanted a symbol that captured the state's long-term legacy, not just its famous landmarks or industries. John Muir was not only a Californian by adoption, but also a national figure whose advocacy led to the preservation of Yosemite, Sequoia National Park, and much of the wilderness that millions of people visit today. Including the condor further highlighted California's role in wildlife conservation, since the bird had been on the brink of extinction in the 1980s and was being carefully bred and reintroduced into the wild. In this way, the quarter became more than a state emblem. It became a tribute to nature and the enduring fight to protect it. Collectors also noticed the artistry of the coin. Designed by Don Everhart, an engraver at the United States Mint, the coin managed to fit a breathtaking scene into a small circular canvas. The detail in Muir's beard, the sweeping lines of Half Dome, and the outstretched wings of the condor showed the level of skill that went into it. The obverse of the coin, like all state quarters, retained the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, but with slight modifications introduced in the 1990s to modernize its look. Together, the obverse and reverse created a coin that circulated in the millions yet felt like a miniature piece of art. The California State Quarter was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver Mints for general circulation, and also at the San Francisco Mint for collector-proof sets. In total, hundreds of millions of these coins were produced, which means they were easy to find in pocket change in the years following their release. But as with many coins, not all California quarters are equal in the eyes of collectors. Factors such as condition, mint mark, and possible minting errors can make some examples far more valuable than their 25-cent face value. For circulation strikes, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 257 million pieces, while the Denver Mint struck more than 263 million. These numbers ensured that the California quarter was widely available across the country. The San Francisco Mint, however, produced special proof versions, including both clad proofs and 90% silver proofs. These were sold in sets directly to collectors and were never intended for circulation, making them more sought after today in high grades. Clad proof mintage was around 3.2 million, while silver proofs were closer to 1.7 million, relatively low compared to circulation numbers, but typical for proof issues of the State Quarter series. Now, when it comes to value, most circulated California quarters are still worth just a quarter, unless they are in exceptionally high condition. A well-worn coin from pocket change usually won't sell for more than face value. However, coins that were pulled from circulation early and preserved in near mint condition, graded by professional services such as PCGs or NGC, can carry premiums. In Mint State 65, which is a high but attainable grade, California quarters can range from a couple of dollars to around $10, depending on demand. In even higher grades, such as Mint State 67 or 68, prices can jump significantly, sometimes reaching into the hundreds, especially for coins with strong luster and no distracting marks. The real excitement for collectors often comes with proof coins and error coins. The San Francisco struck silver proofs, in particular, are popular because they contain 90% silver, giving them intrinsic metal value in addition to numismatic appeal. In top grades, these proofs can sell for $20 to $40 or more per coin, depending on silver prices and collector interest. Clad proofs are less valuable, but still bring a premium above face value. Then there are the error coins mistakes that happen during the minting process. These include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. California state quarters with dramatic mint errors have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. Beyond value, though, what makes the California quarter fascinating is its place in history. It reflects California's identity not just as a state of innovation and industry, but as a state of natural wonders. In 1850, when California joined the Union, it was still a rugged frontier, shaped by the gold rush and waves of settlers seeking opportunity. By 2005, it had become the most populous state in the nation, a hub of technology, entertainment, and environmental consciousness. The quarter captured that transition by honoring the land itself, which has always been the foundation of California's story. For collectors building a complete 50-state quarter set, the California coin is a centerpiece. Some even consider it one of the most beautiful designs of the entire series, rivaling coins like the Oregon Quarter with its depiction of Crater Lake or the Arizona Quarter with the Grand Canyon. Its enduring popularity means that it is often highlighted in coin shows, online auctions, and collector guides. The coin's appeal also reaches beyond numismatics, as nature lovers and history buffs alike find meaning in John Muir's thoughtful gaze toward Half Dome and the condor soaring in freedom.